right, we are live.
Yes.
Lisa, I think what residents are going to see when they first see us today is that we both are wearing purple today.
We have a lot of purple today.
A lot of purple today.
And we did not plan it.
We didn't plan this to happen this way.
No.
So, Michelle, can you turn this down just a little bit, please? But yes, we didn't plan this to happen.
No. We walked in, both had purple.
And we both got black pants on too.
Yes.
Look.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go figure, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've just worked together so long now.
Yeah, we just know. We
just know.
We have that vibe or whatever that thing is that we do. So.
Yep.
Well, welcome to, when I just walked by the back door here, it was sunny out. So.
I know.
we've
So maybe
had
when we
all
go
this
home,
rain.
we won't have to bring out our umbrella.
Well, that was nice because I got soaked last night.
I did too.
Yeah,
Yes.
It was raining pretty good.
Yep,
So.
it was.
It was raining pretty good. So, well.
And no Ken today.
No Ken today.
Because.
So this is going to be a really short.
It is.
A really short show today.
And probably not as entertaining.
No, probably not.
Right? Let's give them that up front.
No, we don't. That's right. So we might have to do some drastic things today. Like, let me see if I've got it. I might have to pull out the chicken today or something.
Whiz, that's a gift that keeps on giving. Thank you.
I haven't forgotten that I still have the chicken.
I know. I know. Somebody should hide that chicken.
No,
It's
don't
in the
hide
bottom
my chicken.
drawer.
Not mine. No, don't hide that. Well, I think we get to start off with a trivia question.
We do,
today.
yes.
And I think it was from somebody that's never submitted a trivia question to us before, right?
No, it's one of our usuals.
Oh, yes, okay.
This question is from Dick Witt, and he's still on vacation right now.
He is.
So he gave me a whole list of questions to use. So this is one of those. And if you know the answer to this trivia question, you're going to call Michelle at 336-389-4103. And the prize today, of course, a bottle of wine. Let's see what kind it is. It's a Merlot.
Oh, you could say that one.
That's much easier to say than
Sauvignon Blanc?
Sauvignon Blanc. You just have to say it really quick. But Merlot, you can take your time. Merlot.
Merlot.
Yes. Yeah, it sounds fancier that way. So the question today, this is an easy one because I used to love this show.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Who won the first American Idol search for a Superstar Award in season 1?
Oh.
So who was the first American Idol winner?
Yes.
Season 1, American Idol. That was many years ago, but I loved that show. I don't know if it's still on. Maybe it is.
Oh, I think it is.
Okay, it's still on.
Yeah.
But I've turned now to The Voice. I like The Voice better.
You like The Voice? Yeah.
Yes, I've let go of American Idol, and now I watch The Voice.
I have to be honest, I don't watch any of those shows.
But you do like that dance show, right?
Well, that's because I'm forced to watch it because everybody else in the house watches it.
And what's that called?
I don't even remember what it's called.
Dancing with the Stars.
No, not that one. No.
Yes, it is.
No, I don't watch it. I don't. I'll go into the bathroom if I have to. I'll do anything to avoid that show if I can help it.
Well, what dancing show then?
It's that other one that they had, that dancing competition with J-Lo on it. That's on there.
Oh, World
of Dance?
World of Dance.
World of Dance. Now, I have to admit,
I like that one.
I have watched that. That's pretty good.
But Dancing with the Stars, you like that too. Or is it Sheila likes that?
Oh, it's Sheila.
It's Sheila.
Kirsten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't watch.
I never got into that one.
What, the World of Dance?
The Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, Dancing with the Stars. Nah, I never got into that.
But the World of Dance, I like that one too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so I bet we have an answer.
And we have a winner.
We do. Okay. So thank you all for playing, and we'll announce later on in the show.
All right, well, let's get to the COVID stuff. I know everybody really looks forward to this part, right? But, the good news is we're still trending down at this point, so that is great. I think we've been talking about this over the last several weeks that, we felt like we were getting to that peak, and we were kind of at that peak a couple weeks ago, and now we're starting to see that peak starting to come down the other way. And so I think the statistics are starting to prove that out. So we saw over the last 2 weeks now a decrease in hospitalizations. 2 weeks ago we were at almost 3,800 hospitalizations in the state. Last week it was 3,600, and this week we're under 3,500. So we're starting to see a drop in the amount of people that are hospitalized, except for the emergency department, which we know there's been an issue with that, and I don't know we don't know quite yet what's causing the emergency departments to be so full. We don't know if it's COVID related or not. I'm sure that's got something to do with it, but there might be other things going on. Unfortunately, our deaths, we had another 406 deaths this week over what we had last week, but that's less than what we had the week before. We had 611 the week before in the state, 406 this week. But so hopefully that's trending down. The one thing that's trending up, which is good, is we saw another increase in the percentage of adult population that are vaccinated with at least one dose. That went from 67 to 68%. And then fully vaccinated went from 61% to 63%.
That's great.
This week. So, that's really good.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, we're trending right about what the U.S. is. The U.S. right now is at 64% for 12 and up, fully vaccinated. So, so we're right there, right average with the rest of the U.S. We also, just one last thing on the statistics. We also look at that 14-day average, per 100,000 residents in each of the different counties that we have communities in, and Mecklenburg. We picked that one because it's the biggest county population-wise. But so even that went down. So we were at, Forsyth was at 766 per 100,000 last week. There's 717 this week. Guilford was 637 last week. We're at 583 this week. Mecklenburg went from 655 to 608, and then Wake had a big drop, 707 to 528 this week. So, that's good too, seeing the county starting to come down. We get a percentage each week. I get a report that shows me the percentage in Guilford County and what that's done. And I think I've reported in previous weeks that, this is where I'm kind of seeing that peak, where we went up as high as 10.9% or 10.8% a couple weeks ago. And actually that was 3 weeks ago. And then we went from 10.8 to 10.1. And then last week it was 9.6, and this week it's 9. So, again, we're starting to see that positivity rate come down for the county, which again is great. And all that is showing, to me, that's all that is showing is we're starting down the downward trend of this thing. And let's hope so, right? I mean, I think we're all very tired of that. We're still getting, all of our testing here has been, I hope I don't jinx us here, but all of our testing over the last almost 3 weeks now has been negative. As a matter of fact, we are out of outbreak mode. Yep. We only have to have one case to be in outbreak mode. I'm not sure how one case constitutes an outbreak, but they do that here for some reason. But we are technically out of outbreak mode as it relates to the Department of Health and Human Services for North Carolina. They have said that we're out of outbreak mode. Now, we are on that report that comes out, but we could be on that report for 4 or 5 weeks before they clear it out of there. But, we've been very fortunate. We now are going back to standard testing for our community, which standard testing for us now is twice a week for our staff, and it's the staff that are in the healthcare center. And it's only now, because we're out of outbreak mode, it's only our unvaccinated staff that have to be tested twice a week. Our vaccinated staff do not have to be tested. So that's really good too, because a lot of you probably just don't realize the effort it takes to test all of our residents and all of our staff on a regular basis. It is a tremendous effort to try and do that, especially when you have to do it twice a week. And so, being able to scale back now to only having to actually test our unvaccinated staff twice a week is a much easier challenge for us now. So again, all of this is good news as far as I'm concerned. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little about the boosters. The FDA is still kind of working through whether or not they're going to approve the first one in the loop is the Pfizer booster. It's not even the Moderna at this point. Moderna is still kind of waiting FDA approval to begin with, to come out of the emergency utilization and go to a full approval. Still waiting on that. I'm expecting that that's going to happen pretty soon. But, the big thing now is the Pfizer and whether or not they're going to approve the boosters. And, we know that they've already approved it for those that are immunocompromised, and I think they're moving towards 65 and plus now can get it as well. But there's still a lot of conversation about boosters and when and timing, and I know from the Moderna that the FDA was still waiting on more of the clinical trial data from Moderna to make any decisions about Moderna as far as a booster shot goes. And we know, you and I know, that we've had residents that have told us that their doctor has told them, go get the booster shot for Pfizer, or go get a booster shot for Moderna, which I don't know how exactly they do that, but I guess the doctors have figured out a way to do that, and they're doing it. So, if your doctor tells you to do it, then go do it. We are still in communication with a couple different companies now about doing a booster clinic here, but honestly, until the FDA really approves the booster clinic, the booster shots for general use, which they haven't done yet, once they approve that for the Moderna, then we can go ahead and start talking about doing a clinic here. And we did get some maybe good news. We did finally reach and have a conversation with our CVS person, and they said that they might be open to coming out and doing a booster clinic for us. So I don't know what might means, but I think what they pretty much told us was they're waiting for the FDA and the government to be able to make decisions about what they want to do from a booster standpoint before they make any commitments to anything. So, we've got some opportunity there, I think, and so we'll keep pursuing that. But right now, I think we're kind of on hold at this point, waiting for the FDA to kind of keep moving forward with these booster shots. And so we'll keep an eye on that. And the other thing I saw, I was doing a little bit of research today. I thought this was really good too. This goes back to the percentage going down. The CDC now is forecasting that hospitalizations will decrease now over the next 4 weeks here, in our country. So, I think we're starting to get over that peak and hopefully starting to come down the other ways. And I think it just looks like everything that I'm seeing is kind of moving in that direction. So, I think it's a pretty good report. The sad part is we still know of people, I'm still aware of people that I know of that are getting it, and people that doesn't seem to matter at the moment whether you're unvaccinated or vaccinated, both are getting it at this point. We're still seeing, I think, the more severe cases coming from the unvaccinated folks versus the vaccinated. But we know of several people that have been vaccinated that got a pretty good dose of COVID. But, Lisa, one in particular, two in particular, that we might want to share a little bit about. I'm not going to share any names, of course, but we have two staff members that I think I'm going to just highlight for just a second. One that was vaccinated that got a pretty good dose of the COVID and knocked him out pretty good, quite honestly. And so, he's back to work and he's negative now, and but we have seen the effects of how that has really drained him, and it's taken him a while to kind of get back up to snuff here at this point. And he was vaccinated. In fact, he told us that his doctor told him that if he hadn't been vaccinated, he's not sure he'd be around right now.
It'd be a whole different story.
So that was, again, a good story for getting vaccinated. And then we have another one of our staff members who was unvaccinated, we know went to the hospital and has just been struggling. I think they may call these kinds of folks, they call them long haulers, I think, because they just have a hard time getting over the COVID virus. And we got some good news from her this week that she feels like she's finally on the mend. She's starting to wean off the oxygen. She's been on oxygen almost 2 months now. So she's finally starting to wean off of that. But I think the amazing part to that story was that she went to her pulmonologist last week I think it was, and pulmonologist told her that she's kind of a walking miracle. And when he looked at the CT scans of her lungs, he said that they were completely white when she was in the hospital, and that somebody must have been praying pretty hard for her because she shouldn't be around either at this point. So, it kind of hits home when you start knowing of people that that are close to you, or that you work with, or that you go to church with, or whatever, and you hear about these folks getting the virus, and some of them get it and they hardly have any effect to it, right? And then other ones get it and they seem to get a bigger dose of it for some reason, and they really struggle with it. And so, we know that's happening, and we just got to keep praying for those, vaccinated, unvaccinated, anybody that's getting the virus. We need to be praying for them and trying to help them out. So, just got to keep at it. But we not having any positives here over the last 2.5 weeks. I don't know about you, but I'm sleeping a little better at night here and feeling like we're finally kind of getting through this.
Absolutely.
And, I sure hope that we don't have to keep repeating this process with variants down the road, but, there's no guarantees at this point. We may be having to go through this every so many months, and that's kind of a scary thought. I sure hope that we can kind of work through this.
Right.
One last thing about the coronavirus that I'll mention that I thought I took as a really good thing, and I hope you all do too, but I know our president has been has an agenda of trying to solve the vaccination problem from a global aspect, not just from a U.S. aspect. And I actually believe that's true. I think that's a really good plan. I think he's authorized another 500 million doses to go outside of the U.S. For Pfizer. I think it was Pfizer. And, I'm not trying to be political here at all, but I just think that, if we can't get a handle on this virus, it's just going to keep circulating and keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. With our travel happy world that we have, which is a great thing, don't get me wrong, if we keep going into areas that have these variants and we keep bringing it back, we're just going to keep reliving this over and over again. So, it can't be just a U.S. problem. It can't be just a U.K. problem. It can't be a Canadian problem. It's got to be a world problem that we've got to solve. So, personally, I think this is a good direction for us to be going into, and I'm glad that the U.S. is kind of leading the way on this. It's not surprising to try and solve this problem globally, not just locally here. So, all right, enough said.
Another positive that you and I have seen is an increase in staff getting vaccinated. I think that's important to point out too.
Thank you for that. Yeah, we've had a little incentive in place for staff members who get vaccinated, and this last 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe?
Yep.
We've just seen more of a steady stream of folks that have been coming in, that have been showing us their vaccination cards, and so, we still got a long way to go to get 100% vaccinated here, but we've made some real inroads.
We've made some good progress.
And I think it's okay to share with the residents that we have also made the decision that, we are not hiring anybody now that's not vaccinated already or willing to get vaccinated in 45 days.
Right.
So,
right.
I think that's going to be a big step in the right direction for us as well.
Absolutely.
While we wait for the
Official,
CMS to be able to give us a final ruling on the vaccinations, and of course, OSHA is going to be involved on the other side of this. I was explaining this last week. The other side of this is where corporations have more than 100 plus staff members or people working for them are going to be following new guidelines as well and requiring vaccination. So kind of waiting for all that to kind of come down and kind of be put into place, and then we can kind of work through our plan here. But it's nice to see a lot of our staff members.
It is.
And really, honestly, Lisa, we just need to share this. A couple staff members that really were kind of set in stone and had told us that they were not going to get it have come around and decided to get it at this point. And we're very happy to see that, obviously, because that's really good.
Yeah.
That certainly makes our job easier when we have more of our staff vaccinated.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, let's move on from that. We want to talk about construction a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was just in another construction meeting about the balconies. So I got good news and bad news about the balconies. The good news is that, we have taken care of a lot of our leak issue by having the balconies covered up. We didn't have any water down here. This morning when we were checking, we didn't have any water in the multi-purpose room in our buckets. So that's great, right? That's super.
Yep.
But we still have water that was on the balconies. And so we've still got, and the good news I think there is that we're starting to see kind of where we might be having issues, and we're starting to do more exploration at this point. So that's good. We got, the whole reason for going vertical was to actually try and solve this leak problem that we're having. And so I think we're really making some good inroads, but we still got some work to do there.
Sure.
So I'm going to have to go back on my promise about having all of the construction done by Thanksgiving. So yeah, I know. I'm not happy about having to share this. I'm telling you right now, I'm not happy about it. But you all know that with COVID, getting building materials has been a real challenge. And we thought we were good. We had all of our stuff, other than windows. We had all of our stuff that we needed, and the windows were promised to us for the first week of October. Well, the window company just called us and told us that it's probably looking more like November before we get the windows. Well, so we're working on another way of being able to do the windows. We're calling all the window manufacturers to see if somebody else can do them, even looking at different types of windows. And maybe just not doing any windows at all, Lisa. Maybe we just don't do windows. We just have it be open air, fresh.
Okay.
I don't know what the answer is, but no, they're working on some other ideas that might help us to still make that time frame. But in all likelihood, it might be November before we get the windows. And so we won't be able to finish by Thanksgiving if that's the case. At the moment, if we get them when they say they're going to get them to us, which I think is still kind of a question in my mind, because they had promised us they were going to get it to us the first week of October too, and that didn't happen either. So we're probably looking somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas now to get done. But if they come up with something else, and they're pretty clever in their approaches to this, because they've had to deal with this kind of stuff before, maybe we can get it done a little faster than that. So we'll keep you up to date, but just want to be very transparent about that the windows are going to be an issue for us. And that's really the only thing left. They've said they've got everything else in stock to finish other than the windows. So we got to figure out the windows. So we'll see if we can't figure out the windows. Okay. But I believe that all of the jackhammering is done at this point. Thank the good Lord, right? I mean, for those residents that had to live here, or the staff that were working here, it was funny listening to Betsy, our marketing director, talk about how she would have to make phone calls in between the jackhammering just because we'd sit there with a phone waiting to be able to punch the buttons so that when they would take a break, she'd quickly call somebody and get somebody on the phone. But no, I think and they're looking really good. It's just windows. Right. Windows.
Sure.
The parking lot, we went through our first
round of inspection.
Our first inspection yesterday, and that went well. We got one more to do. If we can get through that one, we can open up the parking lot, because we're really substantially done, except for a little bit of landscaping. We're really substantially done there. The maintenance building is going well. Scooters building, they're putting electric in now. I said, they said that the only thing left will be the garage doors and the doors that actually go into the building itself. And I said, I just want to make sure that the window manufacturer is not the same one doing the doors for us. And they have confirmed that it's not so the same. I think we're okay there. So that one will be done. I'm hoping maybe middle of next month, towards the end of next month. I think they'll be done with Scooters building. Glen Eagles, looking beautiful.
Yeah, that's going well too. First and second floor are pretty close to being done in the way of furniture and carpet and paint and all that good stuff. Still a couple more pieces coming, but artwork's up and looking good.
The artwork looked great. We were looking
third
at
and fourth floor will be the next floors to start getting furniture and carpet. They do still have to do the hallway, the corridor, lighting the big drums that go overhead there, so that still has to be done, and some other little things, and the awning, replacing the awning out front.
Yeah.
It's little things like that, but everything's really running pretty much on schedule.
Yeah, it is.
For that project.
It's going very well over there.
Yeah, it is. We didn't have to do windows, so that was part of why.
No, it's good, right?
It's on schedule.
Thank goodness we don't have to do windows. So.
Yeah.
But it's looking great. I walked through the living room, and they were on Monday when I was going through, the billiards tournament was going on, the pool tournament was going on. So that was kind of cool to see everybody in there duking it out with the pool sticks. It was kind of fun to be able to kind of watch that for a couple minutes. And so, yeah, it turned out beautiful.
Yeah, so that's going along great. The cart and walking paths?
Yeah.
Obviously, the rain kind of
Yeah, that's going to
put a
mess us
little
up this
stop
week
for,
a little bit.
yeah.
They did very well last week. They got almost all of hole 3 done, which is our biggest and longest hole. And then they also got 6 done. So I think Scooter was looking to maybe try and
Reroute again?
reopening at least 6, I think. I don't know if that's going to be this week or next week, but I know that's coming soon. And so then they have just 4 and 5, and then once they get 4 and 5 done, and they're moving along really well. It's a pretty cool operation they got going on. But they get 4 and 5 done, then we can go ahead and open all those and probably start closing some of the other holes.
Right.
But, as long as we don't get too much rain affecting us, we ought to be able to keep rocking and rolling on that one too. It looks great.
But we did need the rain.
What's that? We do
We
need the
for
rain.
sure needed
yeah,
the
we
rain,
haven't had any
so,
rain in a while,
yeah.
so we needed the rain.
Yeah. Okay.
Was there anything else?
I think that's
so,
it for construction.
Thank goodness.
But we
right?
have a nice announcement about someone that's joined our team.
Yeah. Our new director of human resources
Yes.
has started with us.
She has.
Monday.
So we talked about that the last couple weeks of new folks coming
Vicki
in.
Spriggs, and
Vicky's here.
She just jumped right in, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried to kind of surprise her and tell her that she was going to be on the show today about 30 minutes ago, and she, I think she was about had a heart attack, and so I said, no, we won't do that to
Not
you
yet,
today.
not yet.
We'll find another week to get you to come
Right.
on up and
Absolutely.
get a chance for people to get a chance to meet you. But she's a delight, and her and her husband are living here in Kernersville. So we're very excited about them being here, and I can tell you who's most excited is Tiffany Martin, who has been our payroll specialist, who's been holding down the HR efforts for us for the last 5 or 6 weeks, and who's done a great job for us. I have not seen her smile this much in about 2 months now.
As soon as Vicki walked in the door.
Yeah, so it's been really good. So Vicki, welcome. Vicki's out in our audience here today, so Vicki, welcome. And I found out I've been spelling her name wrong the entire. She didn't tell me. I've been spelling her name wrong the entire time. I thought it was a Y at the end, and she gets here, and I see a phone call coming from her phone. It says an I, and I went, oh, we got to get that fixed. It's an I instead of a Y at the end. She goes, well, no, it is an I. I went, what? So anyway.
She was being polite.
She was being very nice.
Yes.
That won't last for long, but yes, she was being very nice, I'm sure. So. All right, so we got Olympics.
Yes, so we have Olympics. You said you had walked into men's billiards.
Yes.
That was the tournament on Monday.
Yes.
And we have the winners of that. So third place was Howie Zweifel. Second place, Dick Wilkins. And first place was Bluchard Taylor.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. Wednesday next week, September 29th, it's the Pep Rally with the golf cart parade. And then also the puzzle competition in the afternoon. So that's going on next week. Also,
are you allowed to have cheerleaders for the puzzle competition? I don't know. Does that mess up their thinking? Or
yeah, because it's all timed. So I don't think they want any kind of interruptions.
Cheerleaders there? Yeah.
They're literally there. They say go, and you do it as quick as you can.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to be like, go Riverland.
Probably not.
Go Riverland.
I think it might distract them.
You think it might? Okay. All right, well, we won't do that then. Okay.
But you might try it anyway, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to get yelled at, so I may not try that. So.
Oh, because, we do have competition here. We do like to win.
I noticed that.
We are going to be trading the scores in against the other communities, so yeah,
okay.
we better be careful with that.
So we need to pay the timekeepers, huh?
Yeah. Oh. And then next Friday, October 1st, we have the golfers are at Pinewood, and we also have Wii Bowling, so that starts out. And then the following week is when the majority of our events take place. So Monday, October 4th is bocce, men's, women's, and co-ed. Tuesday the 5th is table tennis and aquatics. That's the swimming and the water walking, Tom.
Oh, water walking.
Which I know you like that event.
Anybody that can walk on water is okay in my book.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
So that's
good.
always a good
Yes,
event.
I can't wait to see that. So.
And also water volleyball. Then Wednesday on the 6th, we have the walking challenges out back around the pond. And we also have, this is a neat one, quiz bowl with the other communities. We're going to
Lisa, how are we doing that?
Well, we're going to, very carefully, we're going to do this as a Zoom meeting.
Oh.
So we're going to be able to Zoom into all the other communities and compete against each other.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yes. So looking forward to that. Then Thursday, the 7th, is duplicate bridge.
So what does that mean? Do they have to play bridge twice?
I'm not a bridge player. but I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
it's just a certain type
Or,
of
you know,
bridge.
they play it once and they like it so much that they just play the same
do it
cards again. I don't I never really have understand.
Yeah,
bridge,
you
know?
have to be a bridge player to understand that.
Yeah, maybe we need to have somebody come explain that to us at some point. What do you think?
We have a lot of bridge players here. I'm sure somebody would be willing. I just have never picked up on it.
Yeah, me
Like,
neither.
it's
Yeah.
just not my game to
Yeah.
understand.
All I
But-
know is that they got a lot of trumps in bridge. You know, it's one no trump, two no trumps, three no trumps, you know, those kinds of things, right?
Well, you know more than I thought you did
Well,
about
you
bridge.
know, my parents were big bridge players at one
Okay,
time.
well, see,
And
you
they
could
tried-
pick it up then.
Well, they tried to teach me, and I got messed up on the trumping. I don't know. I guess I just didn't understand how the trumps work. And then explain this to me. A dummy hand. You had to put your hand out. You know, one person has to put their hand out. I don't know how that works. I mean,
I
isn't
don't
that
know.
right? Isn't it? I'm looking at you two. Isn't that right?
Oh.
Don't you? After you all do all the bidding, somebody's got to put their hand down and show everybody their cards or something. I never quite understood that.
I don't
Isn't
get
that
it.
cheating a little bit if you get to see your opponent, your teammates' cards? I mean, I don't quite get that. I don't understand how that.
I don't get that either.
Yeah.
See, it's not a game for us.
No, apparently not. So
We just don't get it.
okay. Now pickleball we can talk about all day long.
Yes, we could. And
but
pickleball
not
is also
bridge.
that day.
Thursday
Thursday is also
All right.
pickleball.
Well, then maybe we need to go to duplicate bridge so we can learn a little bit of something. I bet you that's not a place that you can have cheerleaders either, though.
Probably not. You
No,
probably have to be quiet.
Matter of fact, they probably would tell us not to come to duplicate bridge.
Probably, yep.
Yeah, probably.
Because then you'd be asking about dummy hands, and then, who knows? You might really throw them off.
I might really mess them up.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
Thursday is also corn toss, so we have 3 big events that day: duplicate
So
bridge,
like
corn
an
toss, and
ear corn
pickleball.
that they throw? It's like,
Well, it's a bag of corn.
oh, it's a bag of corn.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Looks like fun. And then Friday is the award ceremony. Then that will be here in the multipurpose room for the Olympians, and then also broadcast on 1390 for the whole campus to be able to see, because we are trying to control our numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you can't come to the multipurpose room, tune into 1390 and watch it right from home. So that'll be great to see the awards for the week. Also, Arts and Craft Room open house last night. It was amazing.
You went to it, I know you
I
did.
did.
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of it because, you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays we play pickleball, Tom.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
So-
And I would have gone, except I was smelling myself after playing pickleball, and I was like, I don't think they really want me in there with
well,
you know,
I probably wasn't in my best shape either,
well,
but
you probably can hide it better than I can.
I went anyway because I just had to see it. So I was impressed. That's probably one of the neatest open houses I've seen in our Arts and Craft Room. It was
thought there was a lot of
amazing.
people there.
There was a lot of work put into that, so I know there's a good group of residents that really orchestrated that, and it was very impressive. One thing to mention is there's still some painted rocks throughout campus.
Yeah.
If you find one, you can take it.
You could just take it?
You can just take it. It's yours. You can have it.
I mean, do you put it in another place then, or what do you?
Well, no, you can take it and
Keep it?
keep
you mean?
it.
Oh, okay.
And you can put it somewhere in your place.
Actually, the rocks are pretty cool. I
So,
saw some of them on
That
Monday
was a
when I
very
walking
creative,
around.
yes, I liked that.
They're pretty. They're very pretty.
Yeah, I did get myself a rock last night,
Oh, good.
yes. So, Ms. Engel actually painted it, so it was
That's
great to be
neat.
able to get that. I love that.
I just
So-
usually find myself between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, boy. Doom.
I know it was bad. I'm sorry. You know, this is
Okay.
what happens when you don't have Ken on the show, right?
That is
You got to
true.
resort to me for humor, and we're in real trouble, right? We're in real trouble when you have
But
to.
I
do
did
that.
warn them that it's not going to be as funny today.
No,
So they
it's
should have
not.
already been
No,
prepared
it's-
for
there's-
that.
I think they all know that.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, a Referral update. 485 registrations were received for Referral courses being offered this fall. This almost doubles any previous set of registrations. This week's Referral River Landing Conversation will feature Robin Mundy, healthcare chaplain, and will air on channel 1390 this Friday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune into that. That is an amazing series.
It is.
So that is very cool. Last week was Megan
Megan
Brown.
and you and I only got a chance to see a part of that.
Right,
I need to
right.
go back and watch the whole thing,
Yep.
but it was, I thought she did a great job. She's a neat lady.
She is.
We're very, very fortunate to have her
Yeah.
here.
And after the air, they do put them up on Care Merge too. So if you've missed one, you can go back
Oh, that's good.
and take a look. So, okay, we had one question.
Yes,
You ready?
ready.
We saw a bunch of new people at River Landing this week. It looked like they were in some type of orientation. Can you give us an update on our staffing? That was very intuitive, because they're right. We had a large orientation group this week.
We sure did. Our director of HR was even in it.
She was one of them.
She was one of them. Yeah, it was one of our largest ones.
It was.
Probably ever, I think.
I think it was.
I think I heard maybe as many as 20.
20?
Were in class. So this is, obviously this is a very good sign.
Right.
Hiring 20 people this week is a huge deal. And, we may have mentioned this on the show before or not, I don't remember, but, we've got a new way of advertising now and keeping up with our applicants through a special program that we have available to us now. And so this special recruiting program that we have, when we put an ad in, it doesn't just go to one service that promotes the ad, it goes to 4 or 5 different services. So we're, in effect, reaching out to more people.
Right.
And so it's really been helping us a lot as far as getting candidates, and we're able to track candidates better. And so I think that's, this is a positive result of that, was that we had a lot of people in our orientation this week. And so, I'm very excited. I mean, that's a huge thing for us.
It is.
And I want to say we've got another 7 or 8 people already
For
the
next week, right?
one, and a couple more that I know of that haven't even been put into orientation yet.
Right.
Who we're getting ready to hire. So
Right.
I think the process is going well. I know I can speak a little bit for Homer because he came in and talked to me a little bit, but Homer was really hurting, quite honestly, with the security team for both here and for Friends Homes. And we healed up pretty good last week. We didn't get quite there, but with the people that we hired last week who were in orientation this week, we're in pretty good shape now. And that's not something we've been able to say for the last several months, so that's really good. So we're getting there. We still could use some help, though.
Yep.
Certified nursing assistants. Certified nursing assistants would be, those are the folks that really we need to keep concentrating on. We're doing fairly well in other positions. I think we mentioned last week that we filled up a couple of our hard-to-fill positions. The painter actually started.
In orientation.
The grounds person actually started. So these hard-to-fill positions, we've had several people that started this week. So, and it just feels to me like we've got some really good people that have that joined us this week. And I'm not saying that just because Vicky's in the room here, but I just feel like we really, we're getting not just more candidates, but better quality candidates, I think, coming in. So that's really been very helpful.
We've had several residents put it into their church programs and bulletins and websites and things like that. So thank you for doing that.
Yep.
And our website is up and going with a career tab on it.
Yep.
So all that helps us.
And people can apply for application, or apply to work here even from the website.
They can,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So all that's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So hopefully we can continue with that.
Yep.
And I think I've been asked this at least a couple times, when do we anticipate opening Wingfoot back up again? And it's the CNAs right now. I mean, I think we have the nursing staff to do it, nurses to do it. We just don't have the nursing assistants at this point to be able to do that yet. We did have a few of them that started with us this past couple days, but we needed more than just a couple to be able to kind of get us to a point where we're ready to rock and roll again. But we're getting there. I feel good. I feel like we've kind of turned a positive corner here, and we just got to keep that momentum going. So hopefully soon.
Okay, we're down to the trivia.
Oh,
So the question was, who won the first American Idol?
Clark Kent.
No, there is a Clark in the answer, though.
Oh, there is.
So
Right.
the answer is Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, right, Kelly Clarkson. That's who it was. Yeah.
And she's amazing. She's on The Voice now as one of the judges.
Is she?
Yeah, that's maybe why I like The Voice,
Okay.
because I always liked her.
I thought you liked that country singer guy.
Blake.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like him too.
I thought you did.
Yep. Okay, so the winner is Helen Kalaki. So congratulations.
All
Yeah,
right.
yep. She wins the wonderful Merlot.
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 Yes. So Brian or Michelle or somebody will be delivering it today.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, the Clackies are right down from us. They can come get the wine if they want to. Or we
You
can
come
take it
to our
down to 'em.
office.
I mean, we're only about 3 steps away from them, so I don't think it'll be that too hard to do that, so. Well, Lisa, another good show today.
Yes, absolutely.
And we are on next week?
We are. And then in October, we're only going to be on two weeks in October.
Yeah.
So we have a break in between there.
And I think, obviously, we're going to have Vicki come on and join us for a little bit on one of the shows.
And I believe Lois Edwards, we're going to have her come on as well to talk about the Employee Appreciation Fund.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so,
and then we have your semi-annual meeting too,
we do.
that
That'll
we're
be-
doing for one of the
I know
shows.
the residents are very excited about that, because that's when I talk about the increase for next year, and residents, they love that meeting. I know how much they love coming to that meeting, so, and being a part of that.
Well, at
so.
least being broadcasted, though, you can't get tomatoes thrown at you.
Well, they still find a way. I notice that
Okay.
they still find a way to
Okay.
do it, or,
Okay.
I get booze when I go down the hallway sometimes, those kinds of things.
Okay.
Actually, I'm kidding. The residents have been really great about it. But, we had mentioned that, and by the way, I think we should talk about this for just a second.
Sure.
That we did put into effect the increases for our positions, and I know that that is also helping us with attracting more staff coming into the community, because we have now become more competitive in our
Right,
starting
right.
wages. And along with that, we increased the wages of a lot of our staff members here to be able to bring them up, because, it wouldn't be fair for somebody who's worked here for 8 or 9 years who was making $1.50 more than somebody that was starting. If we raised up the starting rate to $1.50, it's not really quite fair, in my opinion, that the person that's been here 8 or 9 years makes the same as the person that's just starting. So we didn't want that compression, so we raised up some of our staff members as well. And so, in the end, we actually increased about 325 of our staff members' salaries to some extent. And that's gone over very well with our staff. I mean, we got a lot of happy staff members here right now, and rightfully so, and they deserve it. And so, but there was a cost that comes from that.
Right.
And so, I've mentioned that, with budget, not just here even, but at our sister communities as well. We did the same thing in our sister communities. And so, the increase is going to be a little bit more this year than what it has been.
Right.
Not a lot. I don't want to scare anybody. It's not a ton more, but, it was going to cost us, it's costing us $700,000 more a year to be able to raise up the wages the way we wanted to raise up the wages. And so, we didn't put all of that on the residents' backs, but there's a piece of that had to go onto the residents' backs. And so, I'll talk about that more when we have our thing in October. Sure. That doesn't start until January, but, and what we did here is what we did at all the communities. I mean, it's the same percentage at all the communities, so it's across the board. So, but it's really had a very positive impact on our hiring as well. So that's been a huge, that along with the new recruiting model that we have is really helping us right now. So we're getting there. And I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but I want to put this out. I think it came out on CareMerge. I think the flyer went out, but we're doing our Cna classes. You all know that we do these Cna classes that we bring from people, some of our staff currently, but mostly it's people from outside our community come in and do these Cna classes, and they run 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever. We're going to be a little ambitious this time. We're going to not just do a class. We just finished up a class last week. And so we're going to start a new class on October 11th. And so we're going to do something a little bit different this time. We're still going to have our daytime class that'll run 8 weeks, and it's Monday through Thursday. And so we're looking for candidates for that, although we probably have 8 of the 10 spots filled, I would say, roughly. We have decided, because we've been talking about wanting to do this, and I think the timing's right for us to do it, we want to do a Cna class that runs from 4 o'clock in the evening until 9 o'clock in the evening, and get a chance for those folks who are working a daytime job to be able to do this Cna class and maybe switch careers and become a Cna. And so we are going to have 10 spots open for that. And, we're a little ambitious maybe on this because we wanted to try and start this class as of October 11th as well. I don't know if we'll be able to fill it up that fast or not, but we're going to try. So the reason for mentioning this is twofold. One is to let you know that we're going to have 2 classes. That's the intent. And the second is, if you know of people that are interested in becoming a certified nursing assistant, CNA, then tell them to talk to us, because we would love to be able to have them come and be a part of that class. And that probably be more like a 10-week class as opposed to an 8-week. And the reason for starting September 11th is our hope was to try and get that class done before we got to the Christmas holiday. So
Right.
that's what we were trying to do. So if you can help us with that, that would be great. We'd love to have 10 in both of those sessions. And think about this, if we can get 10 in both of those sessions and we can graduate 8 in each of those classes, that's 16. If we can even get half or 2/3 of those 16 to come work for us at the end of that, think about what a big shot in the arm that would be for us. So if you could, just spread the word around about us having a CNA class. It'd be very helpful.
Yep, it's great.
Lots of information today.
Yes,
We didn't need Ken. See, we still had enough material to be able to share it today.
that's right.
Nobody's ever said that we're not good at talking, Lisa.
No. We can fill the time,
As
can't we?
the residents in the back go, oh boy, that's true.
We can fill the time.
So, all right, we're going to let you all go with that. Thanks for tuning in today. We love you all very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.